Hello, this is David Olshan of Nevada Legal Services. This is another in our series of instructional PowerPoints regarding Nevada landlord-tenant rights. The first thing you should know is you have a right to a habitable dwelling in Nevada, and if the landlord is renting you an apartment as is, meaning it's run down or it's a fixer-upper or whatever, that is illegal in the state of Nevada. 118A.280 requires the landlord to provide to you a habitable dwelling, and habitable means it has hot and cold running water, it has heat, it has electrical outlets, there's no leaks in the ceiling, there's no wind whistling through your house, there's adequate weather protection, the building and grounds are free of garbage, vermin, cockroaches, mice, whatever, and there's trash removal. Also keep in mind that a working air conditioner, appliances, or any other amenities are required to be in good working order if they're supplied by the landlord or required in the lease. Under Nevada law, a landlord can ask you, the tenant, to make minor repairs, minor maintenance, and remodeling if your lease requires it and it is entered in good faith. We don't recommend this. This can lead to a lot of problems. So you might want to check your lease before you deal with a habitability issue because it may be your responsibility as the tenant. So please check your lease. NRS 118A.355 deals with habitability problems, and these are not essential services or items. These are just sort of normal habitability problems like a leaky faucet, a toilet that doesn't work, faucets, oh, I already said leaky faucet, toilets that don't work, electrical outlets that don't work, things like that. Your stove isn't working. So the thing to keep in mind is that you can't just repair it yourself. You can't just demand the landlord fix it. The first thing you need to do to comply with Nevada law is send a written notice. Please do not text it or email it. The statute is an older statute and it does require written notice. And if you can't find the landlord, service on the manager or whoever collects the rent is sufficient under Nevada law. But please, if you are going to provide written notice, keep a copy for yourself. Under Nevada law, you have to wait 14 days, and if the landlord doesn't remedy the problem or make a reasonable effort to fix it, to remedy the problem, you can sue for damages, you can move out, or you can withhold the rent. Now, from our experience, withholding the rent is the best option here, but if you are going to withhold the rent, you have to deposit your rent with the court, and if you do so, then the landlord cannot evict you for the failure to pay rent. NRS 118A.380 covers situations where the landlord has failed to supply essential services or essential items. Essential services would be heat, air conditioning, hot and cold running water. Essential item would be a working door lock. So if the landlord fails to provide these essential services or items, then you must provide written notice to the landlord and keep a copy for yourself. Do not send text or email unless you're sending that written notice, and service on the manager or whoever collects the rent is sufficient. If the landlord fails to fix the problem or supply the essential item, and this failure is based on the landlord's willful or negligent actions, then you can withhold the rent or sue the landlord for damages. When you withhold the rent under Essential Services 118A.380, you don't have to deposit the rent with the court. There's two other remedies here, but we don't recommend them. One is abatement, where you move out while the landlord's fixing the problem and move back in. It doesn't work because, why? The landlord just re-rents the apartment and doesn't fix the problem. You can procure other essential services and deduct that cost from the rent. We don't recommend that you do that. Procuring other air conditioning, for instance, is just going to cost too much money and it's a little bit too complicated, so we don't recommend that you do that. We are Nevada Legal Services. If you have a landlord-tenant issue, if you have a habitability issue, please contact us in Southern Nevada, 866-432-0404, and in Northern Nevada, 800-323-8666.